Hi, everybody. Welcome to the No Depression Sessions. We're here at the Gatekeepers Museum in Tahoe City, California during WinterWonderGrass right now with Shadowgrass. Guys, thank you for joining us. So we're going to hear two new ones that are on forthcoming records coming out some point later. The details are still emerging, and there's also a Ralph Stanley standard that we're in store for. What do you guys want to do first today?
We're going to do one of the new ones. This one is called Pleasantly Aimless, and Mike mentioned it will be on a record that will be out sometime in the future that we're not going to tell you yet. But get Clay to kick this one off with some banjo.
Strong
Thank you. Thank you so much. This sounds wonderful here in the Washoe Basket Room. Tell us a little bit more about the new record. I know details are light, so I'm not trying to like scoop you guys on the thing, but what have you been feeling about writing about lately? Is there a theme to this new record? Like what's been moving you to create lately?
Yeah. A lot of this album has to do with time and kind of changes in time and how we change as people, and I think that's probably the best connecting thread throughout the whole thing. And most of the songs were written fairly close together. We have probably been writing these for the past year, more or less, and actually except for this next song, which Madison wrote for another album originally, but it was written probably 2 years ago, somewhere in there, and it just was one of those that didn't fit the initial project, but when we were writing for this one, it just fit perfectly into that theme of changing times, and the song is actually called Uncertain Times.
Nice. Have you guys been playing around with, like, as a sort of a wink to the microphones, you've been playing around with different meters as you write about changing times? Like, are your times changing in the songs, or is that more of a less literal version of changing time?
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that, because in this next song, that is quite literally something that happens. Exactly. Yes. So this next song will actually go from 4/4 to 3/4, which
changing times.
Which originally it wasn't written like that, and then when we started playing around with it and trying to make it work for this group, and because it was originally written as more of a folk song, I would say. We wanted to, just wanted to make it interesting, and we're like, it's about uncertain times. Let's make the time signature uncertain. Be kind of literal with it. So
there you have it.
Nice. Good. Well, I'm very glad I went out on a limb and guessed about that, and that actually is the case. Good for you guys. Good for me. Fantastic. I would love to to hear the song. I would love to hear Changing Times.
Yeah. Yeah, we should get in the middle. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that sounds great, man. I like the change into a waltz all of a sudden. It's fantastic. So Ralph Stanley. I mean, what's not to love about Ralph Stanley? He's, the godfather of most of this. Tell us a little bit about how you first encountered Ralph Stanley, or maybe what about this particular song resonates with you. Anything you want about Ralph Stanley.
Yeah, well, I guess it pretty much goes without saying, like everything that we do as a band kind of stems from the fact that people like Ralph Stanley and people like Bill Monroe and Latin Scruggs basically created this music that we get to use as kind of our jumping off point to all the things that we do. So without songs like this, we wouldn't have songs like that last one or anything that we've really ever done. Bluegrass is really the foundation of what we do, and yeah. Ralph Stanley. Kyser's loves Ralph Stanley.
I have a great relationship with Ralph Stanley. He just doesn't know it yet. But, he's actually my phone background right here.
Let me see, show it over here.
So
nice, we got it.
yeah, I made him yellow. I made it really super. I made it super vintage and old. I put him yellow, and every time I open my phone, it's like, what would Ralph do?
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's something the Stanley Brothers and like Johnson Mountain Boys and a lot of these old bands are like stuff that we're just getting into like really deep now. I feel like a lot of us, at least for me, I would say, like I've always been into traditional bluegrass, but recently it's been like a much bigger part of my listening habits.
it's definitely been a resurgence for me with trad stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny because one of the first bluegrass bands I ever heard was the Newgrass Revival, which was so far out of left field from Ralph Stanley and everybody, but
it's still part of that same family tree somehow.
Without Ralph and those cats, you wouldn't have bands like Newgrass Revival. So
yeah, I feel like a lot of us grew up playing mostly traditional and listening mostly traditional, and then we branched out and started listening to wacky, wild stuff. Like the wackiest stuff you can imagine. I'm not going to name bands because that could be deemed as an insult.
It might be here in Tahoe right now.
Right.
This festival,
exactly.
yeah.
But I feel like we're returning home. On the highway. Not of regret because this is a good highway, but
Yeah. That's a great segue.
Well
there.
said.
Well, it's fun. It's fun to hear that music that originated in the same era. I mean, I just thought about this with those baskets back there that Susan was telling us offline were from the 1920s, like two different cultures, but at the same time period. This is what was happening in Lake Tahoe and in Washoe culture, and then that was what was happening with Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys at roughly the same time. So it's it's a fun juxtaposition. That I'm really glad that we get to do this. Thank you to Gatekeepers. Thank you to you guys. It's a ton of fun. And there's Ralph Stanley tune coming up right now, right?
do it for Ralph.
for the love.
So.
Just walking down this highway of regret, hearts burning, still yearning for the best girl this boy's ever met. I never thought this thing would happen. I never thought it'd be true. Ain't talking, just walking down this highway of regret. Hearts burning, still yearning for the last girl this boy's ever met. It makes no difference when you're wondering. You never seem to leave my mind. Your faith always there for me. I think about you all the time. this boy's ever been.
Shadowgrass, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your winter wondergrass. Thank you for doing this here. Thanks to Gatekeepers. Thanks to No Depression. Everybody, this has been great. And thank you guys.
Yeah, thank y'all.
All right.